Few technical hitches today. I am finding all the marbles still, by the way. If you're looking for marbles, they are at my house on the floor here. Okay, so we're going to do a mindful movement body scan. So be in a position where you have access to your body, or if these movements aren't within your range, you can picture them. So, like, for example, it would be good if you could be able to touch your feet, but don't worry if you aren't able to. Now I'm just going to share something that I would use as a clinical tool within sessions. So this is a tracking the body checklist. So when I'm with clients in individual sessions, I'll be having a little look for these things. So these are what I'm going to ask you to be having a think about within the practice. So when you're and you may be something to observe in people around you as well. So even if we're not necessarily looking out for these things, we're communicating information with our posture, with what our eyes are doing, with our facial expressions. So looking to see if somebody's upright or collapsed, their shoulders backwards or forwards, if we're slumped, if somebody's tight or tense, if they've got kind of this expanded puffy chest, that might say that they're kind of maybe trying to make themselves be bigger for some reason. How somebody's holding, or how you hold your arms and legs, the spine, whether the legs are tucked across. So if somebody kind of is on a chair and they pull themselves in, that's maybe a sign that they want to protect themselves or hold themselves in. That kind of curling up in a ball, sort of fetal position. Tensions in the jaw, in the shoulders, around the eyes, the back of the neck, the belly, the back, the arms and the legs. These are all the things that we're exploring and that we have explored within the body scan. And it's information. This is information for us, and it's information to others as well, whether we're aware of it or not. So whether somebody makes eye contact or not. And these are cultural as well. Whether eyes are darting around, the pupils, whether somebody is got kind of that sparkle in their eyes, or that glazed expression as well, that kind of fixed stare. And then the facial expression. So I talk a lot about the tension within the jaw. We can kind of clench our jaw, whether we breathe through our mouth or through our nose. And this, a very common one for a lot of people, is that we tense our foreheads. So we'll be spending a little bit of time here today. And we know when smiles are genuine or not, for example. And we can sometimes try and hide things, and some people are very good at it, and some people are not. With masking and using facial expressions that actually don't reflect what we're really thinking. So within therapy sessions, you can learn a lot about somebody via their posture. So this is what we're learning within ourselves, like not only what are we communicating to our bodies, but what are we communicating to others, because it might not be what we're actually experiencing as well. Okay, so let's begin. So setting yourself up in a posture that is dignified, graceful, honouring this space that carries you around. We are going to be moving today, so don't worry too much about how perfect your posture is. So noticing the points of contact that you're making with the earth. The fabric of clothes against your skin. Perhaps the air against your skin. And narrowing your awareness to your breath. Following the flow of your breath as you breathe in and you breathe out. As best you can, breathing through the nose. Mouth breathing can cause all sorts of complications for us. Our body was designed for us to be breathing through our nose, except on those rare occasions where we need to bring in a little bit more air. And then expanding your awareness from the breath to include all of the body. And taking a moment to find an anchor for the practice today, just in case mind wanders, you wander off, or there are parts of the body that you don't want to explore today. You can settle into stillness and bring your awareness here. So just taking a moment to find that sweet spot, that neutral part of the body or the breath. I'd like you to begin by tightening up and scrunching up your face. So the lips, the cheeks, the forehead, just really kind of tightening all those muscles. You may have to move them a little bit to do that. And touch them. I want you to touch the lips when they're all tight, the cheeks, the forehead all furrowed, and the eyebrows sort of squidged in almost. And then letting it go. Moving the hands down and just resting in the felt sensation of having let go. You noticing any aches or tingle. And then touching the face just very gently. Just observing the difference that you notice between that tight and tense face. And then let's gently massage. So let's begin with the forehead. So bringing the fingers to the center of the forehead and then slowly pulling them out. And slightly up, or letting go. Once again, coming back to the forehead, pulling, sliding across, and sort of a little flick at the end. So we're rewarding our face having done that awful tightening. And then bringing the arms back to the side for a minute. We'll come back. This is hard work for the arms. And if these movements aren't within your range, visualizing the movements. This is used a lot within physiotherapy techniques and is enough to build up neurological pathways and support people to move limbs that they hadn't thought possible through visualizing, and then gradually rewiring some networks so that they communicate again. Possibilities. And then bringing your hands back up to your face and massaging the eyebrows, so sort of squeezing them between the thumb and first finger, just moving across from the center outwards. The textures, the temperatures. Does the skin feel smooth or dry? Then moving your hands down to the cheeks. Sort of squeezing across or massaging in whatever way feels right for you. Maybe you've got certain movements that you enjoy. And taking the time to massage the cheeks below the cheekbone if you haven't already. And moving to the lips. Squidging them. And then to the jaw. And the neck. Your body, your face, your neck. It holds so much tension, this part of the body. And it carries the weight of your head. So let's just for a moment kind of lift the skull a little bit. Try and get a sense of the weight of your head. Like a bowling ball. Carried on this space of your neck. And then moving the left hand down to your lap. And just massaging that shoulder. Perhaps leaning the head to the right slightly. Allow the muscles to stretch, tendons and ligaments. And moving down the shoulder to the upper arm. So the fabric of clothes, the skin. You can stroke if you'd rather after massage. This is great for the lymphatic system, sort of a gentle kind of brushing. You don't have to squeeze and dig. It doesn't need to be painful or uncomfortable, but noticing if that's something that you push yourself into. And then moving to the elbow, just exploring what you can notice here. These where two joints meet in a similar way to the knee joint, but without a patella, without a floating piece of bone to support the movement. Common breakage here. Then moving down to the lower arm, just to the wrist. Temperatures, textures, your experience of your body. Feel of the hair, the soft underside. I think it does have hair, but definitely a different texture. Then moving down to the hand, the thumb, the joint, the nail. Massaging, stroking. And tender and curious about your experience of your hand. The different textures and temperatures. Do the palms of your hands feel warm, cool, dry, moist? What's your body telling you as you make these movements? Looking through your fingers and the palms of your hand. Perhaps the odd click here and there. And then just taking a moment to rest in stillness. That's noticing the difference between the left arm and the right arm. Letting go of any tension or tightening that may have crept back into the face. We concentrate. And then moving the left hand to the right shoulder. Repeating the movements, or perhaps introducing some new ones. Don't have to treat each part of the body equally, though we may feel that desire. To be fair doesn't necessarily mean to be the same. Different parts of the body have different needs. You may want to drop the left ear to the left shoulder to allow for a little bit more of a massage within this part of the body. Checking in with the breath, the facial expressions, and then moving down the shoulder to the upper arm. Does the skin or your clothing feel warm or cool? Exploring the different textures of your skin. Moving down to the elbow, the arm. The wrist. And then moving to the hand, thumb, lots of textures and sensations here. The nails, joints, the pads of the fingers, creases, the palms of your hand, maybe jewelry. And resting in stillness. And then bringing your hands to your ribs. Just giving your middle back and your lower rib cage, just a little bit of a massage, moving to the lower back. Sides of the waist. And then softly stroking the belly. And all these amazing organs are held in here. Maybe you can rest in stillness and move your hands around and perhaps notice if anything's moving. Noticing the rise and fall of your breath. Softness. Warmth. And then moving down to your right thigh. Tough. Does it feel soft? And then the left thigh. And then moving yourself, if you aren't in a position already, to look at the calves. And let's begin with the right calf. Checking in with your forehead, your not scrunched up your face in concentration. Exploring the knee joint while we're here if you haven't already. And moving to the left calf. Fabric of your clothes. You can experiment with having your eyes open if you've had them closed. And then let's come to our right foot. Your toes. Different textures of the skin. Where does it change? anchoring in the present moment through exploring our bodies, being present to our direct and felt experience of them. And then moving your attention to the left foot. Checking in with breath, facial expressions every now and again. Even the stories that are going to pop in, you can attend to them later. But oh, I need to have a pedicure. Dropping into textures, colours, shapes, sensations. And then moving into stillness. And just scanning from your head down to your toes, taking a body snapshot, a 3D inventory. How are you? What exactly is that? Where is it? Shapes, colours, textures, movement. And then narrowing your awareness to your breath, breathing in and breathing out. Inaction of Shoes by Ron Padgett. There are many things to be done today, and it's a lovely day to do them in. Each thing a joy to do and a joy to have done. I can tell because of the calm I feel when I think about doing them. I can almost hear them say to me, "Thank you for doing us." And when evening comes, I'll remove my shoes and place them on the floor and think how good they look, sitting, standing there, not doing anything. So moving, stretching in whatever way your body's asking of you, and we're going to move into taking tea together and having massaged our feet. I'm sure you're pleased that I'm not you're not having to actually taste this tea. I don't mind. So this week I'm having linden tree tea, Tilule. So I picked it and dried it. It's in bloom here. It smells like honey. When we take tea in this way, this is this sort of simple reminder of how we can bring present moment awareness into some of the more mundane activities of life, and the simple pleasure of taking tea. But many of us as children would have been absolutely desperate to have been able to have done things like this, and then it just becomes something we do on autopilot. Very yellowy, perfumey honey infusion. I'm going to pause the recording here. For those of you accessing this in your own time, an invitation to press pause and have a think about what came up for you within the practice and what does your body need from you today. So let's bring the practice to a close with a simple breathing space. So bringing your awareness to your body, scanning from your head to your toes, noticing the points of contact that your body is making with itself, with the floor, with the chair. And then narrowing your awareness to your breath, breathing in and breathing out. And then expanding that awareness to include all of the body. And then placing a hand on the heart and one on the belly. Saying out loud or internally, may I be well. May I be at ease. And may I be kind to myself and others. Just taking a moment to think about what you need to do after this practice. And as best you can, taking this sense of connection and awareness into whatever you have left to do with your day. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you soon.